Carly Zucker on The Fan, presented by Affinity Plus Federal Credit Union. Now, with a look at what Minnesota teams and sports figures do to give back to our communities, here's The Fan's Carly Zucker.
Welcome to Overtime, presented by Affinity Plus Federal Credit Union. I am Carly Zucker, joined by Brianne, who is producing back at the iHeartRadio studios for me. Thank you so much. Hi, Brianne.
Hey, how's it going?
It's good. Oh my gosh. I am so excited to get back in the studio and actually see you in person.
I know, I'm excited about that.
Recording these on these Zoom chat situations always
Tricky.
stresses me out. Because,
yeah.
Isn't it? Like,
I was so stressed out about this.
I'm so stressed because when I have conversations with people, I don't want to interrupt, but I feel like I jump in because I'm like, are they done talking? And so it's awkward silences. Interviewing people over the phone or on these things is just weird. So I can't wait till we can actually have guests back in studio. You and I can be together. And I know this is not the biggest thing in the world, but it's just like something that's bugging me.
Who knew those were the good old days?
The good old days when we could all be together in a studio. So I can't wait for that. But like I said, thank you to Affinity Plus Federal Credit Union. Thank you to you. Okay, so we were talking about all the things we've been doing in quarantine. We talk about this every week.
Gets interesting and more interesting.
Yeah.
That's the word.
Okay, two things that I did that I'm fairly proud of. One is I baked bread from scratch.
Yeah, I saw that.
Can you believe that?
Hats off to you. What kind of bread was it?
It's just white. I mean, it's just like white bread.
White bread? Heck yeah.
Just white. Just basic
homemade white bread?
Come on. Very, what is that? Like Karen. It's like very Karen
Is Gail becoming Karen in this
Gail's going to be.
Oh,
yeah.
no.
No. And so it was actually way easier than I thought. I felt like when I posted the picture that I did it, I really pumped my own tire. Like, I made this bread, but I'm pretty sure it's basically 4 ingredients, and it was really easy.
You put the work in. You needed the dough.
Right. I needed it by hand because I don't have a mixer. Okay. Anyway, super exciting stuff, people. Made bread. Also, Brianne, I have been obsessed with remodeling playhouses, which
you're a playhouse mogul now. You're just making a whole little neighborhood.
I can't stop talking about it either, which I feel like Jason's getting super annoyed with because I am obsessed with these giant boxes of playhouses keep showing up at our house, and he's like, "You're doing another one? Where is it going?" So I've actually started giving them away, but people have to donate to charity to enter.
What a great idea.
Thank you. Yeah, so I feel like, okay, it gives me something to do during quarantine, but also we can give back to charity. So this last house I made, basically people had to donate $5 to enter to win. And so I tried to keep it, I didn't want it to be overwhelming for a donation. Everybody's in a tough spot right now, but I also thought $5 feels safe, and I feel like that adds up quickly, and we can all just do, we can all feel good about doing something together.
For sure.
So it raised like $2,700, which I felt great about.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And so I'm thinking of doing another one.
I think that's a good idea. Maybe just don't tell Jason. Which do you think he hates more, the bows on Stella or the playhouses? And you have to pick one.
How annoyed is Jason with me at all times? Like at a level 10. He can't wait. We were hearing from the NHL that they're probably going to report back soon. Like, wow. I think it's been all over social media that they're trying this 24 team format. So 4 top teams wouldn't have to play in each like division, each conference, but the other teams will have to play in. Jason would be one of those teams. Pittsburgh would have to play Montreal, and they would be in hub cities, and they would be gone for all of playoffs, which is fine. I mean, we were talking off air. We've had so much time with him. It's been great. If he's gone for a couple of months, we'll be fine.
You're practically sick of him at this point, I bet.
Yeah, I'm like, actually, NHL, please take him. Like,
take my husband.
Take him now because we are done. No, just
I got a play house to make. I got a play
to make. Well, the great thing is, it's like he's constantly here for me to be like, okay, babe, I gotta go paint the playhouse. You're watching the kids, because the kids are of the ages where all they want to do is put their hands in the paint, and it's not very helpful. But Yeah, so it sounds like the guys will be reporting back. It sounds like sports are going to be starting back up, hopefully come July, and which will be interesting because usually I feel like we're just living in a baseball world in the summer, and now we're going to have really odd things like the NHL in the middle of summer. So hopefully it'll come back. I think it'd be really good. It's just a good distraction for everybody, especially when I think we're all going to stay somewhat quarantined. I know things are opening back up, but I think people still try to stay home when they can. Mm-hmm. And our guest today, we're talking to Eric Kendricks. So are you a football gal, Brianne?
Sure. For the sake of this conversation, let's just call myself one.
I love it. Okay. So for this overtime, we're talking to Eric Kendricks, who Brianna is a big fan of because she loves football. Football. We just established. But yeah, so Eric Kendricks is going to join us. He's a linebacker for the Minnesota Vikings. Beloved guy on the team. And he is actually in LA quarantining. But while he's there, he's making art. So he's creating artwork because he used to do it when he was young, he said. He's going to tell us all about how he started making art again, and he's selling it and then matching what he sells it for and donating that money. So he's going to tell us all about that, which is a really cool idea. Maybe we'll talk a little bit of football. Brianna, I can let you answer ask all those questions. All the football questions will come from you.
Perfect.
Yeah, right. And so we'll get him on the phone. It's always so hard, like I said, to interview people on these Zoom calls because it's just like who's talking when. But we're going to give it a try with Eric. It was funny because I'll ask him this right away, but I had to ask David Morgan to connect us because I couldn't get a hold of Eric. And I mean, it's not like the Vikings are, not here right now working full time. So I was like, how can I get a hold of him? So David Morgan's a good friend of ours. And I was like, we'll loop them in. Make him get a hold of him for me. Right. So that was really awesome. But yeah,
people calling people,
Eric today. Yeah, people helping people. We'll maybe get some updates from him on the NFL. Otherwise, yeah, that's it for overtime this week. It's going to be fun. Joining me on a Zoom type of situation, so you're going to have to forgive me if it sounds a little bit different, but we're all just living in this COVID world trying to stay safe. So Eric Kendricks, linebacker for the Minnesota Vikings, is joining us. First of all, thank you so much for joining, and David Morgan had to harass you to do this call.
Dave's my guy.
I basically looped him in.
Dave's my guy, so it's perfect.
Yeah, I was trying to get a hold of Eric, so I'm like, but we aren't connected on anything. So I was basically asking David Morgan to run interference and find him for me. I like the shirt you have on, by the way.
Thanks. It was a coincidence, actually.
That's awesome. And obviously, you guys can't see it. This is audio, but it has the Pittsburgh Penguins on there. Just coincidence. I like it. Okay. Wanted to get into, obviously, the basic questions of just how have you been doing during quarantine? What have you been up to? And then we're going to get even more into more detail in regards to the artwork you're creating and how that's helping the community as well. But first of all, how have you been doing during all this quarantine?
I've been doing pretty well. Obviously, there's not much we can all do at this point. So, we're always trying to find things that make us happy and get us through the day,
If you don't mind telling us where you hold up. You're not in Minnesota, right?
No, I'm in Los Angeles. Yeah, I have a lot of family in California and friends and stuff.
Sunshine, so that's nice. Good weather.
Nice. Definitely.
How are people there? Because I know they locked down pretty early there, and we're right on it when it was time to lock down. But what is it like right now?
I don't know. I feel like people are obviously getting antsy everywhere. I don't know. I've been at the house for the most part. I've been kind of like keeping the same group of people that I've been seeing, so it hasn't really I haven't really gotten out of that. Obviously, there's like lines for the stores and stuff like that to get to the grocery store and things like that.
Are you a rule follower?
I definitely, try to do my part. Will I technically have to have my mask on? Whatever. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I'm in my car or whatever. So I'm not gonna wear it.
They won't regulate you there. Obviously, you said making the most of the situation right now. One of those things I saw on social media is the fact that you're creating artwork. And that this is something that you're passionate about, and you've also been able to raise some great money for it. So if you wouldn't mind just telling me how that started and when you decided to start selling it for a good cause.
I started painting when I was a kid, at my art school, but kind of got away from it for a while, last year. last offseason, I started like just trying to paint a little more just to have fun with it. Kept doing it over and over and over, and then just having fun with it. And one of my friends was like, "You should sell those." And then during this time, I was just like, "Oh, maybe I know there's a lot of people struggling out there right now, and things aren't as sweet. People are losing jobs and all sorts of bad stuff. Health wise is bad and everything." So I was just like, how could I help and still be in my living room, kind of doing what I like to do anyway. So I kind of just came up with the idea to sell them and then match the price I sell them for, and then just give it to a food bank, and whoever bought it, give it to the food bank of their choosing.
How do you describe your art?
I don't know. Honestly, I just kind of do what I'm feeling at the time.
That's awesome. What do you use? Like spray, I use spray paint.
Yeah, I use acrylic spray paint. I mean, I don't know. Like, that's what I'm starting to like just see what I can use. I'm still like pretty, very, very new to it. So I'm just exploring when I'm having fun.
You obviously put yourself out there for football, and you obviously open yourself up for criticism when it comes to football. That's just the nature of the game. But when it comes to your artwork, is it more nerve-wracking to put yourself out there for the art?
Oh, so much more nerve-wracking. Oh my gosh. That was like the biggest thing where I wasn't going to do it. I was like, man, I don't know. Like, people are going to probably think like I'm like this way or that way, or trying to be, I'm like, man, I'm just trying to have fun with it. But, I just came like, that's why it was just like, I guess I have to put myself out there. Like, if I really want to help people, you know what I mean? Or, do what I speak, do things that I speak of or think of, I just got to kind of do it and not really care about what anyone thinks. And I guess that's definitely the hardest part. But at the same time, like, I'm just having fun with it. And if I just keep that mindset where I'm just, having fun with it and trying to do things good, then I'll be all right.
You could also be like, I'm a linebacker, so if you criticize my art,
yeah, like
you're going down.
I have a lot of things I'm interested in, besides football. Like some people like, they think that, obviously we're football players and stuff like that, but some people think that that's all we should be, like kind of doing or focused on or this or that. And it's like, we're people too.
Well, important, I think, for anybody to have an outlet or hobbies on the side at any point, because I think it just gives you something else to distract you too. That you're not fully, you don't have to be fully just obsessed with football all the time. I feel like that could be unhealthy.
And sometimes in order for you to, for me to give my all in the football realm, for me, do everything I'm capable of doing for my team to help my team win. It's like, you got to do things for yourself mentally at times too as well.
I think that you mentioned it when you were talking about what you're doing with the art, but really cool idea, I think, to have a person choose the food bank that this is going to, and you said that you match the amount of money that they pay for the painting?
Yeah. So
what on average are you selling them?
What'd you say?
Oh, go ahead, tell me.
I said so far, like I just been selling them for $1,000 and then matching with that $1,000, so it's been like going $2,000 to a food bank of their choosing. So. Oh my gosh,
that's awesome! Cool. That's a lot of money. Which provides a ton of meals for people.
And it's cool because it's like I'm giving you my painting, I'm selling you my painting, but it's not even like that. It's like we're both donating to like a cause that someone wants to give back and I want to give back, and it's like we're doing it. It's like it's cool, man. I don't
know. So you have also been involved with the Sheridan story here in Minneapolis as well. How did you get involved with them?
So I think it was either my rookie or my second year. I was like, I want to get involved with the local charity, to just, see what I can do,
Yeah.
And my agency was just looking for, things that kind of aligned with what I believed in. And Sheridan Story was a group that provides meals for kids that, any kid who signs up for it, any household who signs up for it within their districts and stuff like that, they're able to achieve free food, and they pack them in their backpacks, and it's an awesome thing. And I just like that they don't discriminate. If you sign up and say, you need food, they'll try to provide it for you. And they deliver meals to kids all over Minneapolis and the Twin Cities area, and helping them for a little bit, trying to.
That's awesome. How many pieces of art? Like, how long does it take you to create a piece of art? Going back to what you're doing.
It depends. Sometimes I'll work on something for a while or like all day, and then I'll just like leave it alone for a while, like weeks.
Okay.
and and they come back and just do like extra to it. I don't know. That's what I've been doing, some of that. And then there's been some times where it's like I just crank something out in a short amount of time, and that I'm good with it. So it's kind of just whatever.
Is this something that you're like? Because I don't know when the original story came out that you were selling the art. Are they still available? Can people still buy this right now?
Yeah, so I'm kind of just doing it I'm not just trying to. I'm not like I have a life. I have to work out and do all types of things, and it's like obviously I like painting and stuff like that, but I want to keep it to where it's like I'm doing it for fun and things like that. So it's like I can't just be cranking out all these these paintings, but I definitely have more, and I'm definitely gonna sell some more, and yeah, we'll just see where it goes.
Okay, cool. We just have a couple more minutes. Want to let people know where they can find the pieces, though. If one does come available, and that you are going to sell it, where can people find that?
Honestly, what I've been doing is just people have been direct messaging me on Instagram.
Oh, cool.
And I've been kind of just talking to people every now and then. Not everybody, but definitely some of my friends who have reached out to me early and said they definitely want something. But yeah, there's obviously fans that can buy it as well. So we'll see.
Okay, so Eric Kendricks on Instagram, look him up. And that's where you can find the art. If it becomes available, you can direct message him and hopefully help out, help fight hunger in whatever community you would like to do it. Just a couple really quick football things, and then we'll let you get out of here, get back to that LA sun. Are you right now? Are you guys just doing Zoom calls basically, or just doing? What's the situation, I guess, right now for you guys as a team?
Yeah, we're just communicating through, video, stuff like that.
Do you feel like that has been beneficial for you guys being connected? Are you able to learn things off of that? Or is it really just staying in communication with each other?
No, definitely. Obviously it's different. We're not in that one-on-one personal setting or whatever, with or not one-on-one, but, just the person setting with all the guys. But, from the first day of the virtual meetings, I feel like our coaching staff was pretty locked in on what they were doing as far as the meeting schedule and things like that. And it's been really smooth and really productive. And we've been learning a lot.
Are you pretty pumped that the fact that, if COVID had to hit, it hit after, it really shut everything down after the Super Bowl. And it looks like you guys might be able to have your season on time. So football, in fact, kind of fell in that sweet spot.
Yeah, it's just I don't know. Yeah, it's just timing of it.
Timing. Timing.
It's literally nothing that any of us can control. So it's
that must make you feel good though, that you can get back into what you love doing.
Obviously that's important, but obviously there's, it's bigger than that. I'm not going to just answer that football is the most important thing, but it is important for me and obviously people who support the whole, organization and NFL and in that world. It's definitely a big deal.
And of course, sports right now, not the biggest thing in the world, but I do think it'll be really important for people to be able to watch you guys celebrate football. And I think sports can really bring people together.
Absolutely. Football brings a lot of people together, and that's a beautiful thing about it, for sure.
Give people something to look forward to.
Absolutely,
And I'm sure you're asked all the time, but what are your thoughts on no fans? No fans probably not at training camp. If in fact there aren't full stadiums, I know it's the question everybody gets asked, but what are your thoughts on that?
I can't even really, I don't know. I can't picture it, obviously it's, but that might be the reality. So I guess you gotta roll with it.
Yeah, quiet stadiums would be, although maybe they can pump sound it.
That's the reality we're living in right now. I feel like we just adjust,
Yeah, and the best thing we can do, I think, is just try to see the positive in the fact that just even having you guys to watch, like we were just talking about, would just be a really great thing. And maybe they'll find a way to social distance people into those stadiums. But of course, COVID just being, I think, on everybody's mind right now. I know both of my parents were positive for COVID. And so that was something that really touched us and just put into perspective how important it is just to remain focused on taking care of each other.
Absolutely. You know, and health is wealth. You know what I mean? And reminders like that will definitely put you in check.
Do you have any idea when you'll be reporting back to Minnesota?
No.
Not yet?
Nope.
Awesome. Okay, well, we will get you out of here. Thank you so much for chatting about this. One more time, if you would just let people know where they could find that artwork.
Yeah, you know, I'll be posting stuff on my story just every so often. So yeah.
Well, hopefully people can get their hands on that, on Eric Kendricks' artwork, because.
So there's another idea that we were talking about, and it's making prints during the season of maybe one of my favorite things or whatever, and being able to sell it to the fans for like obviously much more affordable rate, and then having it still have the same kind of effect and contribution to. So we'll see. That
would be awesome. I think if people could get something authentic like that from you, it's even better than almost a signed football or a signed football item. It's something you created.
Yeah, that'd be cool. So I've been thinking about that. So maybe we'll do something like that.
Just lastly, then, what inspires your art? Like, is it emotions? What inspires it?
It just shoot. Honestly, like I don't know. Sometimes I don't know. It's a feeling, but I guess that's like we all get inspiration from other different ways. So it's like it's always going to be something else. Like it's always going to be something new. Could be like a car, or it could be like, a beautiful day.
That's awesome. Well, really, really cool what you're doing, taking that time while we're all kind of locked down to really do something good for the community. So thank you for doing that. Thank you again for your time. We really appreciate it. And just excited to let people know what you're doing to help out and fight hunger in our community. So Eric Kendricks, of course, linebacker for the Minnesota Vikings. Thank you for taking the time, and hopefully we'll see you in Minnesota soon.
All right. Take care. Thank you.
I told you, Brianne, I'm just not a fan of the phone interviews, but he was great. We appreciate Eric. And I just think what he's doing is really, really cool. And how awesome that these athletes or these people that we love, whether it's a musician or whoever, politician, whoever is kind of in the limelight, has these other hobbies too. It's fun to see what their talents are outside of obviously being hugely talented at football.
Who knew? They were just people too.
Right. Who knew they like to paint, just like
and have interest.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Who knew they could do other things? No. It's really awesome to see. And that's the one thing about this show that I like, is that we are hopefully shedding light on what people do outside of, being athletes or being a coach or whatever it is in the sports world. So awesome to have Eric on. Want to talk quickly about Affinity Plus Federal Credit Union, because of course they're best friends of the show. We love the fact that they sponsor us, and they are still accepting applications for teacher grants right now through May 31st. And so these teacher grants are really important, because in this time, teachers are looking for more resources, and if financially it can help them buy things or do things that they might need to make distance learning even better for the kids that they're working with. I mean, whether it's technology or, items that they need at home to make this happen. I just think it's really important for us to support our teachers when we are in this situation.
I couldn't have said that better, because, you really have to make sure that they have everything that they need during this time, because they have their hands full with what they're going to have to deal with coming out of this. We're going to be kind of behind, probably just in general as a society, but we really got to kind of like make up for lost time after this,
Right. And this happened suddenly for our teachers. And so we want to make sure that they have what they need, and Affinity Plus is making that happen. So until May 31st, they're taking applications for grants. Go to affinityplus.org for more information. I believe it's affinityplus.org/grants if you want to go directly there. They're just doing awesome things in the community. Following them on social media is really fun, because they actually post all of the things their employees are doing, whether it's individually or as a branch, to make it a better community for us. And that's what this is all about for Overtime. So, and what's super important to me. So love that. Love Affinity Plus. Love you, Brianne. Thank you so much.
Love you too.
I miss your face. I'll see you soon.
I know.
But yeah, so hopefully I'll be back in studio next week. But yes, thank you for producing and making this all run smoothly. And that's it for Overtime. Thanks again to Eric Kendricks for joining us. And we'll talk to you soon. We'll bring you all the good news right here on Overtime.